everyone! Welcome to my channel. I am Alice Nakiri from Food Wars from Totski Academy. And in today's video, we're gonna be cooking! I'm just kidding. This is Sarin Suder from Trees with Kittens and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm gonna be talking about cosplay, especially cosplay in the Philippines. So, if you're interested, please keep watching on. This video is gonna be in Taglish, so magtatagalog ako paminsan-minsan, depende what gets the point across better. So, yeah, let's get started. So, before we start talking about cosplay, some of you might be wondering, ano ba yung cosplay to begin with? So, cosplay is a combination of two words, which is costume and the role play. So, costume is self-explanatory, and yung costume na suot mo, such as this one, the literal clothes that I'm wearing. And then the role play is the acting aspect where you try to embody the character that you're dressed at. So, when you combine those two together, that is cosplay. So, we already talked about what cosplay is. So, the next thing we'll be talking about is what exactly is cosplay and what is not cosplay. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, there's a lot of times people say cosplay, but it's not actually cosplay. So, what is cosplay? When you're cosplaying, an important thing to note is lagi kang may reference material. It's not something you just made up, bigla mong hinatak sa cabinet mo, nagsuot ka ng wig, cosplay na. A big part of cosplay is yung source material, such as this cosplay. The source character is Alice Nakiri from Food Wars. Here. And then, I have plenty other cosplays. And you know what their source material is. Lagi kami pinagbabasihan na video game, anime, mobile game, even books, even TV series, or anything, any fictional entity na pinaggagayahan mo. Now that we have an idea of what cosplay is, I'm gonna be talking about kung ano ang hindi cosplay. So first off, kapag may kulay yung buhok mo or nakaporma ka lang, it doesn't mean cosplay. Because this happens a lot to me kasi in real life, my hair is bleached, it's pink. And then people will always say, "Uy, cosplay, cosplay." But it's not cosplay, may kulay lang yung buhok ko. And then another thing is if nakaporma ka, if you're dressed in a different sort of fashion, for example, Lolita or Japanese fashion, and it's just your fashion sense, it's your self-expression. Wala kang pinagbabasihan, it's literally stuff in your closet that you put on that you think looks great. Wala kang ginagayang character, you're just yourself. Then it is not cosplay. So remember everyone, pag cosplay, lagi tayong may source material. There you go. Okay, moving on to our next topic. So, someone actually asked how I started cosplaying. So, shout out kay Kim who requested this video. Anyway, how I started cosplaying is I started cosplaying in 2010. Shucks, I'm old. I made my own costume. I was cosplaying as Yuffie Kisaragi from Final Fantasy VII. So, sobrang nene ko pa dyan. And I barely had makeup on. Ang labo pa ng mga picture. Digicam days pa. But yeah, my entire costume, I made it myself. Yung shirt ko, and yung shorts ko galing sa ukay, tas inalter ko lang the belt, the headband I made. I had this cheap sewing machine that I used to alter existing pieces. I painted the shirt by myself. Si nanay pa yung naggupit sa buhok ko noon kasi I was using my real hair, so thanks nanay. I would see conventions and people dressed up, and I had friends talking about going to conventions. And it just looked super fun to me, and I always wanted to go to one. So, ang first step lang is just going to the event, and then that's it. So, that's kind of the segue into our next topic, which is how you can start cosplaying if you've been interested. So, how to start? First step to starting any project, cosplay pa yan or whatever art, is one, you decide on what you want to do. Pick your character, can be your favorite character, character you said, someone said kamukha mo, that's totally fine, character na favorite ng crush mo. So, oh, yeah, whatever your reason is, it's not ours to judge as long as you pick the character you want. And then, one tip I would say is try to pick a character you actually do like, especially if you're gonna be spending money on your cosplay. Para hindi naman sayang yung ginastos mo. Isipin mo, gagastos ka for costume, tapos hindi mo naman kilala yung character or you don't even like them. Parang sayang. So, at least try to pick something na feel mo is something. Try to pick someone na feel mo is worth investing your time and money into. And then, after you've like decided on who you're gonna cosplay, the next step is either crafting your costume or commissioning your costume. Why am I using my pinky fingers? Pinky fingers. But anyway, making your own costume is really fun and you learn a lot of skills with it, but it's not for everyone. So if you want to start off easier, you can just commission or buy your own costumes. So you can order now online through Shopee, through Lazada. You can look for sellers on Facebook. You can even buy second-hand costumes na madali now. Or kahit pumunta ka lang sa mananahe na maybe kapitbahay nyo or in your neighborhood, bring your own fabric. You have to look for your wig. Depends on your character. So shorter wigs are typically cheaper than longer ones. And then your makeup, but you probably already have a makeup kit if you're a girl. Contact lenses, it depends on if you're okay with them, and make sure before you buy, okay, I need to say this, don't buy second-hand contact lenses, that's unsanitary. You can get infections by using someone else's contacts, so don't buy second-hand. Kahit like tingin na makakatipid ka, you can get an infection if it's dirty. But before you buy any, make sure your first pair is magpatingin ka muna sa ophthalmologist so you can find out if you're even okay to wear contact lenses. And then the last part is to actually, when you have everything, put it all together, wear your cosplay, and take photos, go out, have a photo shoot. That's it. Cosplaying is simply putting on the costume and role-playing as the character. It's not required that you attend cons, it's not required that you do photo shoots, but it's definitely more fun if you do because you meet a lot more people that way. As for how to cosplay in conventions, although it's not gonna be a while that I think there will be conventions due to the coronavirus, but definitely just follow the pages of the well-known cosplay events in the Philippines. They are first, the Cosplay PH events. They have Cosplay Mania, Cosplay Carnival, ACX, Cosplay Matsuri, and then you have Osin Fest, you have Best of Anime. There's also smaller cosplay events organized by various groups in many other venues. So if you join Facebook groups for cosplayers, you're definitely gonna be in the loop because people usually update and post the event calendar. Now we're going to talk about my tips for those who want to start cosplaying or for those newbie cosplayers. My first tip is to make your first cosplay attainable. That's just my personal preference or my personal advice. Pwede namang kung gusto mo yung first cosplay mo is bongga agad, go lang. But personally, I would advise starting with something simple, something you can easily put together, something that's not so expensive. I think start with something simple so you can finish it. The chances of you finishing it are higher. Because when you make on a more complicated build, this goes for anything, even with art or crafting. When you start on something that's immediately complicated and maybe above your skill level, the chances of you completing that project goes lower. So my second advice for newbies is definitely research. So before you take on a project, before you pick a character, before you buy your wig or your costume from a certain place, check out the reviews, research about the store, research about your character. That goes a long way. That can save you money and that can save you time and save you a lot of hassle. My third unsolicited advice is don't cosplay for fame or money, especially when you're just starting out. I'm not saying that there's no money here, because there definitely is some money here, but before you get to have that kind of income, I think it would take a while, because to make an income or to become popular locally as a cosplayer, first you have to buy your costume, take photo shoots to post on social media, go that means paying for venues, photographers, your travel expenses, and everything. Cosplay isn't a hobby that's quick money. It's a lot of building your reputation first and building a following before you can even sell your merchandise. Don't be a victim to pressure of fear of missing out. So yun, this hobby is gonna be here for a while. I don't think it's going away. I have seen some kids who complain that their parents are telling them to stop cosplaying because they're spending a lot of money or because their grades are failing. And like any hobby, if it becomes unhealthy for you, if at any time you feel that it's toxic or not right for you, then you can take a break or quit. There's no shame in that. So, I'd like to remind you to not compare yourself to other cosplayers and instead look at your own progress. Instead, compare yourself to how you were cosplaying a year ago or 3 years ago. And now for the last part of the video, I'm going to be answering some frequently asked questions. So, let's start first off, paano ba maging cosplayer? I already answered that in the earlier part of the video, but someone already asked, may registration ba yan? Mayroon bang ID kailangan? Kailangan ba nagko-compete ka to be a cosplayer? The answer to that is no. You're a cosplayer if you already have a costume and you're acting out as the character. You're already cosplaying. People also ask, magkano ba yung bayad for me to cosplay? Or kasali ba ko sa contest, that's why I'm cosplaying? And the answer is no to both questions. Just because I'm cosplaying in a convention doesn't mean I'm paid to be there or doesn't mean I'm cosplaying because I'm joining the contest. Yeah, I know, magastos tong hobby na to and a lot of people can't fathom why we're spending a lot in this hobby. Basically for nothing, just to dress up like this. But why do people spend money on gaming computers? Why do people spend money on phones? Why do people spend money on art materials? Wala lang, they're your hobby, you enjoy it, it enriches your life. So you also can't judge cosplayers for spending on what they spend on as long as they spend on their hobby responsibly. Okay, another question that's frequently asked to me is, or not frequently asked but is a common assumption, is cosplayers, especially the ones with photoshoot photos on their social media, are getting paid or are models. Actually, we're not models. Hindi nakalagay sa profile ko, works at freelance model. No, that's not it. Actually, most of the times, for an average cosplayer, when we go to these photo shoots, we're paying for it out of our own pocket. People basically, dito sa Pilipinas, they treat cosplayers like mascots. So kahit bigyan ka ng talent fee, mas okay pa ata yung mascot kasi yung mascot provided ng company yung costume. But sa cosplayer, ikaw yung usually magpo-provide ng costume mo, which is sometimes cost you thousands. Tapos ang bibigay lang sa'yo na talent fee usually nasa hundreds or exposure. So ayun, don't discount a cosplayer's hard work. When you see a nice photo on Facebook, a lot of work went into that. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. And it's fulfilling to see that end product of you cosplaying your photo. It's really enjoyable and it makes you feel proud of what you accomplished. So yeah, I feel like yun na yun. So I guess that's the end of that video. I think I covered everything I want to talk about. If you have any extra questions, please comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to follow my socials and this channel on Facebook, Instagram, I'm Sarin Suter, and my shop is Three Smitten Kittens. So yeah, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! But ang init. Grabe. I have to turn off the fan when I take videos kasi rinig na rinig yung electric fan. So, I am sweating. So, cosplaying in the Philippines is tough kasi ang init. And then, like, quarantine costume.